So, I put out a video discussing flat earth claims and, as was to be expected, even though it has such a low view count, some flat earther decided to descend upon it with his well thought out arguments. One of those arguments was that bodies of water are formless, always contained and level on the surface. Let's just pick that apart and show how wrong it is. First off, flat is still a shape. Not like it matters, but it's still wrong. The flat earth is still a shape. It would need to have 3 dimensions, and as it's finite, this would also give it a shape. Water being formless depends on the way you view it. It's a liquid. Chemistry was always my weakest suit, but I'll try to explain anyway. The molecules of a liquid are intermediate between a gas and a solid object. There are smaller structures between molecules, but no overall structure. This allows a lot of random movements between particles, but due to intermolecular forces like hydrogen bonds, it is kept relatively close by. Therefore, its shape is easily altered by its surroundings. Remove those surroundings, however, and it will form a sphere. I actually don't know what you mean by this. If you define a container as a physical object, then this is wrong. As water can fly, water will always rest on a surface, but the surface must not be shaped like a container, it can also be flat. Now, is water level? Short answer, no. Not perfectly anyway. The surface of a water body will be pulled downwards by gravity. The angle of gravity will change across the surface and curve it. You won't be able to measure it with your eye, but using accurate tools you can. Being perfectly flat wouldn't make sense anyway, as water would still try to minimize its surface relative to its volume, due to molecular forces. It's also a fact that water has the ability to curve. Just go out and touch some grass and you'll see. So, if water can and will curve, what's stopping it from doing so in the Earth's oceans? That's it already, as the answer is literally go out and touch some grass. However, to fill some time, let's look at another claim of this guy. I quote, "Space is phased LMFAO ... How do you have atmospheric pressure adjacent to a vacuum? Things don't orbit ... Look up satelloons, NASA shows you what they are ... Things don't orbit? Okay. I guess GPS and television is a lie then. Also, what is the moon doing then? What is holding it up if it doesn't have a stable orbit? I did look up satelloons. They are named this way because they are inflatable satellites. However, they still inflate in orbit. They have a reflective surface, which is used to reflect stuff like microwave signals for means of communication. More importantly, why wouldn't we have an atmosphere adjacent to a vacuum? People always think vacuums work like a vacuum cleaner and just suck stuff out into nothing. This is wrong. Gases try to fill up as much space as possible. That's why, if you open a vacuum chamber on Earth, it will be filled very quickly. Why do gases do that? It's called diffusion. Gases have a lot of empty space between their molecules, which can move around randomly and very quickly. This movement translates into, for molecular scales, massive amounts of energy. The closer they are, the more energy they'll have. However, atoms and molecules don't want to be in this high state of energy. It's unstable, and one way to reach a lower state is to just spread out. So, what's preventing gas from escaping?
Gravity, you fucking retard! Gravity! Have you ever heard of fucking gravity? Gravity!
The force of gravity is much larger than any diffusion a gas could have. I've heard the argument that gas needs a container. But if you think about it, what is a container? It's a force. If I try to walk through a wall, the same force I exert on this wall will be exerted back on me. And this will keep me in place. Those forces will be equal and halting any movement. But wait, if there's no wall around the atmosphere, what is the force holding the gases back? You've guessed it, gravity. And by the way, gravity is not a theory, it's a fact. We know that every object on Earth is subject to a constant acceleration according to its height. This acceleration points directly to the Earth's center of mass. That's about it. What it really boils down to is a major misunderstanding of gravity and the conflation of the terms gravity and gravitation. This will get its own video. As you can see, all these questions have a really simple answer if you understand basic physics. That's all I have to say. In that sense, thank you for watching and have a good one.